What up, all my outliers? It's your boy B. I'm right back about you cats with another video. What's up? How are you guys doing? It is Monday. Another week, y'all. Another week. Y'all know how I start these weeks off, man. How you feeling? What you got planned? What you want to achieve this week, my people? And get started now. Because time waits for nobody, my people. Time waits for nobody. And I be trying to think of the right words to say to let you know about time. But I haven't come up with it, man. I haven't come up with it. It's like, I don't know, man. I can't think of anything right now. But it's real, y'all. It's real. Time is something you can never, ever, ever get back. Every single second, time is moving in one direction for all we know. And if you're not taking advantage of that time, kid, you're going to be in a rough and tough situation. We got Big Mont on the check-in. He said, welcome to Earth. What's going on, Big Mont? How is you feeling? How was your weekend? My weekend was straight. I really didn't do too much. I feel bad because on Friday, I didn't do the right thing on Friday, y'all. Did not do the right thing, man. I bought me a bottle of plum wine because that's my thing. I love me some plum wine. And I got me a small, little bottle of vodka. Mixed them things in together, man. Wasn't feeling good on Saturday, and I recovered on Sunday. Now, I didn't have a hangover on Saturday, but I got pancreatitis. So whenever I drink, it really messes up my pancreas, y'all. It had me feeling to the point where I don't want to eat. And then when I don't eat, my sugar start getting low. I force myself to drink stuff. But what happens is the less you eat, the more weak you feel, man. So I was feeling weak, and I ain't really eat on Saturday. Probably just one meal, and I felt like I wanted to throw up every meal I ate, so that wasn't good. So Saturday I spent really in the bed chilling. And then on Sunday, it was cool because I started feeling much better. Started back eating, and I wrote a script for the page that's going to be dropping. All right, we got my boy, Big Mont. He said, feeling good, headed to Vegas. So, why are you headed to Vegas, my boy? What you doing in Vegas, Big Mont? That's what up, kid. Congrats. We got somebody else on the check-in. Were 12 people or 12 Opal. I said, hello, what's going on? How you feeling? How you feeling and where you're coming in from? We got 13 people on the check-in. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. If this is what you're into. And what is this? This ain't nothing special. It's just a regular dude walking him way to work, just chilling, you know? Also, I do regular videos, longer form of content where you could check up some stories that's happening in New York. Check out some stories that's happening in New York. Are you jumping off the stratosphere? Wow, Big Mont, that's what up, kid. I'm excited for you. I know that's your thing. You turning into a daredevil later on in your life, man. That's what up. Me, I'm scared of heights, kid. You know, call me a punk all y'all want. But I don't mess with them heights. Somebody said, good morning from Ohio. All right, Renee, what up? She get it in Ohio. You know what my boy Cam say? Dayton, Youngstown, Cleveland, Cincinnati. That's how Cam get it. Yeah. Liverpool United. Shout out to the people out there in Liverpool. You the first person checking in from Liverpool. That's what up, kid. Thank you. Love from New York. We're in New York right now. It's about 4:30 out here. What time is it in Liverpool? Yes, sir. She said she's not from Ohio. She's from Cleveland. All right, Cleveland. I never been to Cleveland. I got family in Ohio. I forget which part they live in. But they from New York. They moved out there to Ohio recently. And they doing their thing, man. Definitely doing their thing. I used to rock with Bone Thugs. Y'all already know that. Bone Thugs is one of my favorite groups, straight from Cleveland, you know? And I was just talking to, like I said, I got cousins out here. They came out here for a birthday party. And one of my cousins, I ain't even gonna say it, but somebody that's significant to her, I was talking to him. He's from that area. He was breaking it down. I thought all them areas of Cleveland was different. All those areas out there was different. But he was telling me they mad close, like Youngstown and all them other spots. You know? 937. All right, 937. 937. Okay. My boy Daniel. He on the check-in. What up, Daniel? How you feeling, my brother? I got to check one of your lives, you know, because you come check me out every morning. Definitely appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. Yeah. But nah, I ain't no daredevil. My boy Big Mike, you know, he turned, what? In his 40s, I think he turned into a daredevil, man. Skydiving and all that other stuff. Nah, kid. Y'all could call me a punk, but I'm afraid of heights, yo. I don't even get on roller coasters, kid. I don't even get on roller coasters. And I'll fly, but I don't like when it's taking off, man. I really don't like when I'm flying and it's taking off. I get real nervous. But I just live with it, man. I just live with it. But yeah, I don't really like heights, kid. I don't really like heights. Somebody said, morning, somebody said, we about to see a shootout. Listen, they could go down anywhere, man. You know, shootouts can happen anywhere. But stuff like that don't really happen on this side of town. Stuff like this really don't happen on this side of town. It's a pretty nice neighborhood. This is Freeport, Long Island, my people. Freeport, Long Island. We got somebody else on the check-in. Who's that? Cold Flesh, asking crazy questions. What up, Cold Flesh? How you doing today, man? You feeling freaky this morning, man? What up with you, kid? You know? You need to go handle that, man. You need to go handle that. Somebody else came with the check-in. Angus said bots. Yeah, it probably is bots. Another person came in and said, yo, bro, that's weird, Cold Flesh. Exactly. Cherry May back. What up, Cherry May? What you doing? What you doing, Cherry May? How you feeling? Somebody said YouTube is infested with bots. Yeah, man. YouTube is. Y'all remember, what was that? Oh, yeah, when they was talking about the election fraud way back in the day, or what was it? Not the fraud case, but this was election interference. I believe it was on Trump's first term. And they was looking at, I forget which country it was. Maybe it was Russia or one of those places where they was showing that they had spies going into message boards, trying to start up groups and stuff like that, infiltrating groups. I was like, yo, that's crazy, kid. That is crazy, yo. For real. Somebody said, should I explain why I'm grounded, bro? Sure you can. Sure you can. Explain why you're grounded. Yeah, they said that, yup, YouTube is infested with bots. And then Angus said, that's why we killed MySpace, facts. Somebody said, and Yahoo chat, facts. Somebody asked me, am I white? Nah, I'm not white. I am not a white man. I'm black, kid. Somebody said, yup. Somebody said, Angus said, now there's an entire message boards that are nothing but AI. Somebody said entire chat rooms that are. Yeah, facts, facts. That's crazy, man. Who would ever thought that? That we would get to a level where you could be talking to an agent, you could be talking to a bot. All this stuff is fake, man. All this stuff is fake. And I'm glad you cats mentioned that, because y'all bringing up something that I wanted to bring up, and that's that Nolan Wells case. You guys been following that? You guys been following that case, man? You know? Have you been following that case? And I know bots are crazy, but humans, boy, humans, we muddy the water, kid. We definitely muddy the water. Let me get, somebody said, yo, night in the hood. My boy Math online. What up, Math? How you feeling? Somebody else? Okay, Cherry May said, so basically, I'm doing my assignment, and my mom said she's going to delete my game, and I had a meltdown. Damn, Unc, where you at? Somebody said, nah. I'm over in Freeport. This is Freeport, New York. Freeport, New York, a suburb of Long Island. Cherry May says she got grounded. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Cherry May, we're going to talk about that tomorrow. You know what I mean? We'll definitely get that tomorrow. We got, homie said he's in Memphis. Guy Cornelius is in Memphis. Shout out to the people in Memphis. Shout out to the people in Memphis. I have a terrible story. about, one of my friends, something that happened to him. He had family in Memphis, man, family in Memphis. And he had a sister. And, something happened to his sister, man. Somebody, they did something to her, you know what I mean? They took her life. And, it's heartbreaking. I hear some of the stuff that happened in Memphis is crazy, man. So stay safe out there in Memphis, man. Word. Stay safe, my man. Stay safe. We got, somebody said, was Noah right? We're going to get into it. Somebody said AI chatting with bots about killing all humans on their own would be hilarious. That would be funny as hell. We not stopping, son. Y'all see that? Somebody said it's inevitable. But the AI's coming together to try to mess with us? To try to get rid of humans? Somebody said, are you going inside a 7-Eleven? Like, I ain't gonna take it inside 7-Eleven today. Somebody says, you gotta keep a 9. I hear you. Somebody said, gotta go. All right, Cherry May, I talk to you. Check me tomorrow. We'll definitely get into it tomorrow, all right? We'll definitely get into it tomorrow. Yeah, y'all think the AI bots could come and get rid of humans? I don't know. That's an interesting topic. I gotta do more thinking on that. But yeah, so that Nolan Wells case, man, I got to talk about it, man. And I mentioned that humans could sometimes be worse than bots. Now, let me tell y'all the narrative that they trying to spin. Now, all my FBAs, all my Black Power brothers, y'all know I'm with y'all. But we got to stop this, man. We got to stop this, kid. Listen, y'all know I did grow up in a black neighborhood, Hempstead, black and Hispanic. But at the same time, my people, check this out. I played baseball growing up, man. So I went to baseball camps, on traveling teams. Many a times I was the only black person there. The only black person there. Of course, my parents would come. Sometimes they couldn't come to some of the travel games and the tournaments that we were having. But I tell you what, not once did I feel like just because I was the only black person there that these white people were gonna do something to me. Cut it out, man. Cut it out. Now, I don't like that narrative, man. I really do not like that narrative. I can understand to a certain extent what some of the lawyers do, and they want to shine national attention on it. So that's what they do. They sell stories. They're going to sell you a story. So, the Lee Merritts, the people like that. I understand where they're coming from, but they also got to be responsible with their message, because you got a whole bunch of people that's going to take that and try to run with it. And I'm seeing mad YouTube creators coming up with their own little stories. Like they the new tabloids. Y'all remember The Sun and all of those type of magazines from back in the day? That's a lot of these YouTubers are, man. That's the way a lot of these YouTubers are. And they're putting people's information out like that. And I think that's straight up grimy, son. Put your feet in the other people's shoes. We didn't see an autopsy, so we don't know what really happened. There's a whole bunch of fake information going out there. Just hold your judgment. Hold your judgment. Like, does that make you feel good to have that out there, that black people can't go on vacation with white people? Like, what does that do for you? You understand what I'm saying? And personally, I feel like that weakens the whole argument. We got Dylan. Oh, what up, Dylan? How you doing, man? Somebody said, I was looking for you, man. How's your day going, buddy? I'm good, Dylan. How you feeling, man? We talking about that case with that young man whose body was found over there off the coast of Mississippi. Nolan Wells, he was hanging out with friends on the 4th of July. And they came back, but he didn't. From the parental standpoint, I definitely understand where the parents are coming from. When something like this happens to a kid, we're talking about an 18-year-old boy. He's still a kid. And when stuff like that happens and parents don't really have answers, then I could definitely understand them wanting some clarification. And there are still a lot of questions to ask. So I believe that they're trying to get national attention could be a good thing because it's pushing the case forward. But at the same time, you got people going on there with narratives. And I think the narratives divide us and they don't really make things closer. So I'm listening to some YouTube content creators talking about, oh, they know what happened. And they like creating a whole story around it. And you don't even got the autopsy, son. Like, how you gonna talk without an autopsy, kid? You know what I mean? We got Guy. He came on and said, oh, yeah, I saw that tip rip. Rest in peace. Facts. You know what I mean? Rest in peace to the young man. Rest in peace to the young man. But listen, yo, we got to be more responsible with information. We have to be way more responsible with information. If you guys go back to my page, I broke down the whole Ahmaud Arbery case. Like, when you look at it, what, some people were saying at the time was that he was just a jogger. But he wasn't just a jogger. The people in Satilla Shores knew who he was. They had him on camera. They knew that he was in the house. And they knew that things were being stolen from the house. Now, on the flip side, you got the other people who was trying to paint this guy out as a thug. They was trying to make it seem like he was definitely stealing. I remember they tried to make it seem like he had a hammer when he didn't. So what I'm telling you is that both sides lie. Both sides lie. You understand? And the truth gonna lie in the middle. The truth is going to lie in the middle. So with this Nolan Wells case, I get it. Parents got questions. I definitely understand that. But without an autopsy, you can't tell us what happened in that case for sure. You feel me? He said, to me, it's not adding up. They left Nolan behind. God said they left him behind. Yeah, they did, and like you said, and like I said, the parents do have questions, those are things that need to be answered. Those are things that need to be answered. But at the same time, we cannot come to a final conclusion unless we do have that autopsy. Now, if we look at the autopsy and there's signs of trauma, there's signs that something happened to him, then okay, it leads credibility to maybe they did do something to him. But what doesn't help us or help the case is when you're putting up pictures of pool parties that's not actually what you say it was. Or you post videos of kids fighting when the person who posted that video said most likely wasn't him. So, we don't do ourselves any favor in situations like that. You kind of weaken your case. So again, all I say is hold your judgment, people. Hold your judgment. And from my understandings and from my dealings in life, listen, man, killing somebody is one of the hardest things to do, kid. A lot of people would stop eating meat if they had to catch sheep and kill it, or catch a cow and kill it. It's hard to be a killer. That's why I get mad when people say, oh, rap music can make somebody a killer. I'm not gonna listen to Bone Thugs and Harmony. I'm not gonna listen to K-Flock, whatever these dudes' name, these little drill rappers, listen to them, and then all of a sudden tell myself I'm gonna get a gun and shoot somebody in their eyes. Like, come on, son. That don't happen. So I know accidents do happen. Accidents definitely happen, and people cover up for accidents that happen. You may not have intended to do something, and something was done. But to be a cold-blooded killer, you understand? That's hard. And I think that the percentages are basically against that, you know what I mean? So again, I want to see. I got to wait and see the autopsy, you feel me? Got to wait and see the autopsy, But I just don't want the divide, yo. Please don't have a divide. I know how we could get as humans, man. And when we, I did a Mayor David Dinkins video. So go check that out, right? And one of the big things that happened with Dinkins was it was over there in Brooklyn. And it was a Jewish guy. He was driving the car, hopped the sidewalk and killed the young black teen. I think it was two young black teens. And those cats out there in Brooklyn went crazy, son. They was tearing up the Jewish neighborhoods, the Hasidic Jewish neighborhood. And it was wild. I also remember the Rodney King thing. And I mean, so many people got hurt. Reginald Denny, he got hurt up in there. What they did to that boy was crazy. And what the cops did to him was wild. But listen, we got to be careful with our messages, man. You know, we most definitely got to be careful with our messages because motivated humans, man, we cause damage. And we like army ants when we motivated. No? We like army ants when we get motivated. But we over here at 7-Eleven. I'd like to thank everybody for checking in. We definitely going to get more into this Nolan Wells case once the autopsy and everything is released. But I love y'all, man. Thank y'all for checking in. Peace out, man. It's your boy, The Outlier. Yeah. And my boy Mont said, wait up. He said it might be hard to be a killer, but it's easy to want to cover up an accident. Facts, you're right. You're right. Exactly. You're right. You're definitely right about that, man. You know, you're right. I mean, people do cover up accidents, and accidents do happen. I definitely understand that. You know what I mean? Let me get up out of here, man. I'm going to check